Yep. Hi. Hi, I'm Jack. I'm with the Fantastic 4+3, and this is our final project. We will be talking about different ways to learn, like learning styles, and how they can be beneficial in the group. We think it's beneficial for everyone to know what type of learning style they are in a group, so they can help communicate better within the group and have things run more smoothly. And we each chose a different learning style to talk about and help teach you guys about them. Quizali did the active experience learning style, which is like visual learning. Rosa did the reflective observation learning style, which is learning through observation and studying. Armando chose the abstract conceptualization learning style, which is like learning best through reading and writing. And Vincent and Nora did the concrete experience learning style, which is like learning best through hands-on experiences. Finally, Michael did the conclusion to wrap everything up. So now I'll pass it off to Quetzali, and she's going to tell you more about her learning style.
Hi, I'm Quetzali. I'm going to be talking about the active experimentation learning style. So basically what that is a preference for trying different things to see what works. What they do is trial and error, and people that like to learn by inventing usually like this method best. They would much rather do than observe, and they are important group members because they can come up with solutions to a problem right off the top of their head. An example would be if an active experimentation learner is responsible for coming up with a solution, they are not going to want to sit there and write it out. They much rather prefer to participate actively, whether it is discussing with the group or putting together a plan to solve the issue. I personally consider myself an active experimentation learner because I would much rather be in a lab learning by physically doing experiments rather than from reading and writing. Our group benefited from this learning style because whenever we would get stuck, the active experimentation learners would come up with ways to come to a conclusion that everyone agreed on. Future students should use this strategy when coming to an agreement because they could talk it out and get everyone's opinion and then move on to the next subject with ease. So now I'm going to pass it off to Rosa, and she's going to talk about a different learning style.
Hi, I'm going to be talking about the reflective observation learning style. As stated in the book describes those who use this learning style as the thinkers in a group. The book states, quote, "They move information over in their minds, and we talk to others about it and learn particularly well by writing about the experience. They are likely to enjoy discussing the parking issue on campus, helping the groups think through the problem, and less helpful jumping into implementing a group's decision." So in general, what the book is saying is mainly that this type of learning style is used in a way to consider both sides of a situation. Our group has done a very good job of implementing this learning style by carefully analyzing both sides of a possible topic we may use for a presentation. We have also used this, for example, in our past presentation where we had to come up with a possible solution to our conflict. And I believe future students will find this very helpful whenever they come across conflicts within a group itself. For example, when choosing a topic to do a presentation, it is very important to be able to know the pros and cons of a conflict in order to fully understand and be able to effectively present the problem. And now I will pass it on to Armando.
I will be summarizing what an abstract conceptualization learning style is, how it has helped our group, and how it can help future students that take this class. Reading and writing can be one of the most easy and most simple ways to learn new material. People who are able to process considerable amount of information by reading and doing solitary studying have an abstract conceptualization learning style. Reading and writing is something you often do by yourself, so it really gives you the space and quiet that you need to not only read and copy what a book says, but comprehend the material completely. Learning new material through this form is often beneficial for those who want to learn a lot of information in a short amount of time, depending on how fast of a reader one is, of course. This concept is one of the most crucial ones that we have gone over throughout the semester because not every student learns in the same way. Some students have an easier time learning from a keynote presentation, while others find it hard to learn from notes but find it easier to just read straight off the textbook. Overall, being able to utilize all learning styles has helped this group by giving each individual member of the group freedom when it comes to doing their part of the presentation. We are giving the opportunity to take our work home and complete our own part of the presentation without holding up one another or unevenly distributing the work. Future students should consider what way they find the easiest to learn and find group members who have the same learning style in order to reach full group potential. Now we'll be passing it on to Vincent, who will be talking about the concrete experience learning style.
All right, me and Nur are going to talk about a concrete experience learning style. According to the book that we use, concrete experience learning style is a preference for learning by participating and doing. This method of learning has a lot to do with feelings and their own experience. According to nwlink.com, people who have this kind of learning style tend to depend on people who has expertise in their fields. Excuse me. For example, when learning how to ride a bicycle, people who has concrete experience learning style tend to receive practical tips and techniques from biking experts. Also, when they try to learn how to use software programs, they use help features to get some expert tips. Like the examples from the nwlink.com shows concrete experienced learners prefer or can learn most efficiently when they get the knowledge passed down from the experts or people who have already experienced it beforehand. In the best case, this is our classroom and our lectures that we're taking in the colleges are a very good example of this. Personally, I think people who has this kind of traits are good at studying at schools, where they can get vast amount of experiences and knowledges from experts and professors. Now I'm going to pass it down to Nora.
So I will also be doing the concrete experience. It's sort of like kinetic, but also active, because you need to see something tangible and be able to feel it. Like Vincent was saying, people who know how to ride a bike, they take that memory and then they apply it to other things in life. Again, like he said, the software programmers, when you're doing something on the computer with software programming, you're moving and you're using the keyboard to cause other things. And then when knowledge is passed down to you from an expert, you take it as more reliable instead of just something that you find by word of mouth. Again, they take it, they process it, and they use it with other tangible things, like in a lab. It's very easy for somebody with this type of learning style to be in a science field, because you go to the lab, you learn, you use hands-on experience, and you also get the addition of the professor, which is the expert, telling you what you're doing while you're doing it. And this just concretes it in their mind, like the learning style suggests, and they will continue to use it for their later life experience. And now I'll be passing it on to Michael to conclude.
All right, so finally my name is Michael Keith. I will be wrapping up the points for this presentation. So in communications, we've learned many different diversity styles, such as concrete learning experience, a preference for learning by participating and doing, reflective observation learning style, a preference for gaining perspective about one's experience by thinking reflectively about it, abstract conceptualization learning style, a preference for reading and solitary study, and then finally active experimentation learning style, a preference for trying different things and seeing what works and what not works. Diversity learning styles are seen everywhere. Diversity it's what defines us, it's what makes us human. The better we learn to accept our differences and unique learning styles, the faster we'll be able to evolve and become better knowing around us. The more knowledgeable we are on understanding others' individual backgrounds, the closer we'll stand and the possibility of failing decreases. Diversity learning styles can be seen in groups. It can be we can work together to solve certain issues by bringing ideas and using these learning styles to comprehend and bring a solution a lot more simple, or let's say less costworthy than the last one. Diversity is everywhere. We can't deny it. Otherwise, we won't get anywhere. Even in groups, it's impossible to finish a task if all members aren't willing to accept each other's learning styles and ideas. It'll only cause us distress. However, when understanding our differences and ideas, we will be able to move forward with our task and become something greater than we already are. Alone, a task cannot be finished, but together all things are possible. And with diversity, anything can be accomplished as long as we accept each other's ideas and backgrounds. Diversity learning styles are everywhere. They are with different people, and different people learn differently. And we need to learn to accept that. And the more society learns that we all learn differently, the better we will become. And my name is Michael Keith, and that is Diversity for Conclusion.